Welcome back, troops, and Let's Tab 59. Look who I've got with me. I've got a Remy vehicle electrician with me.
Evening, peeps.
So Nob's come down to see you, staying the night here in the luxurious 1990s static caravan, bless him. We've had a bit of scoff, and we thought we'd do a couple of videos. I'm going to do a fairly short one now, chatting to Nobby, and then we're going to make another one. To watch the follow-up one, after this one, if you want to watch the follow-up one, you're going to have to go across to Nobby's YouTube channel, which is Nobby3542. I know already some of you subscribe to Nobby, but if you don't, please do. Give him a hand up. He's growing his channel and needs a bit of help. Right, Nobby, welcome to Let's Tab 59.
Thanks very much, buddy.
In this vast, desolate Lincolnshire countryside. Good drive down?
Yeah, not too bad. Like I said to you, it was a couple of hours from my house over in Leicestershire. And I actually drove past a potato plant that I used to visit about 15 years ago. When I used to work for a company called Transmon Engineering in Leicester. So,
Nobby, what I want to do is just, in my video, just get the build-up going, and then we'll chat. What I want to know is, right, where was you born? How was school? What made you join the army?
Right.
3 questions.
Yeah, so I was born in Portsmouth, so I'm a Pompey lad, born and bred, proud of it. So, yeah.
It's a local school?
It's a local school. I went to, it was called Medina Road School, was a junior school.
Still going, do you know?
It's still going there, and funnily enough, my grandson went there as well.
Did he?
And then I moved on. I was posh, mate. I went to Northern Grammar School, which is
that's how he got in the Remy,
yeah,
right? That's why I'm a thick infantryman, and he gets in the Remy.
In the last year that we were there, it moved to being a comprehensive school and became Mayfield Road School, which is, if you know Portsmouth, it's down near North End.
Well, my school was really good. That good, it was approved. My school was that good, it was approved. So, Nobby, mum and dad, brothers, sisters?
My mum is from a little island called St Helena, which I've mentioned on my channel.
Yeah, whereabouts is that roughly?
St Helena is in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean.
What's the nearest place we'd recognise, island or landmass?
Right, for the military, you'd recognise Ascension Island, because it's a stop-off for going down the Falklands.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's off the west coast of Africa.
And is it a British protectorate?
It's a British overseas territory. It's actually where Napoleon died.
Did he?
What people don't realise, when you speak about Napoleon, people think that he was exiled to Elba and that was it.
No,
he escaped from Elba. And then after the Battle of Waterloo, he got shipped off to St Helena, spent the rest of his days there. Apparently it drove him mad, because, like I say, it's in the middle of nowhere, mate.
He had no penguins to command. No, didn't have a penguin army to command.
It's a beautiful island. If you want to look it up, one of the things is it's called Jacob's Ladder. And one of the things my mum told me about, Jacob's Ladder literally goes down down to Jamestown.
Not a set of stairs, a proper ladder.
It's a proper ladder. And apparently what the kids used to do was put their feet on one rail, their back on the other, and slide down the ladder.
I bet everyone on that island's got thighs like tree trunks and an arse like a 12-year-old. You know what I mean?
My nan, she was the oldest resident on the island, besides George the Tortoise. There's a tortoise on the island called George. I think he's in 150 odd.
So that was where your mum was born and bred there?
My mum came across, and she worked for Lord and Lady Bradford as a chambermaid.
Yeah.
And my nan on my dad's side, that was in the 50s, but my nan on my dad's side took my mum in, gave her lodgings and everything, and that's how she met my dad. And I don't do politically correct, I'm afraid. My dad's a whitey from Aldershot.
Oh, right. Was he a squaddy then?
He did the TA route. He joined 2-1 SAS.
Straight off the street?
Straight
off the street. He wasn't in a battalion or TA route, he went? Because you could, I think he still can.
Yeah.
I think you can walk off the street and become Special Forces guy.
But Dad, I think he did his selection in 1970. It must have been 71, because I ended up joining the Army Cadets that were in the same drill hall as in 1972.
Squadron, troop.
Dad did, like I say, he joined in 71. He retired from the military as the SQMS of one of the Sabre squadrons in 2000, in August.
He done some service then, only some years. Did he deploy anywhere at all, or you don't know? You'll never know, will you?
The only one I know of is when he went and did his jungle training in Brunei. But I know that he used to disappear off to Hereford on a regular basis.
I mean, any guys out there that are X21 or 23 reserve, or you might be 22, I'm sure that the TA and the reserve do deploy on operations, don't they?
A lot of the guys, especially during Afghan, the two reservist regiments deployed to Afghanistan.
I think during the Bosnian conflict, I got a feeling, because I had a friend, no names, no pack drills, obviously. He was X21. He was in all the shots with me. He was still a reservist soldier then. And I was chatting to him about Bosnia, and he said he had a patrol out in Bosnia.
Yeah.
So, and he was 2-1 SS. So they did definitely deploy before Iraq and Afghanistan kicked off, and maybe even before Bosnia. I don't know.
But like I say, Dad retired August 2000. Ironically, I retired after 23 years service in the July 2000.
Close.
Both of us as staff sergeants.
So you were probably serving at the same time, in the regular army, in the REME.
Yeah.
When your dad was serving.
When my dad was, I used to go back home and visit my dad on a regular basis.
Did you never get tempted to go for the SAS?
I thought about it. For me, what with wife and kids and everything like that,
it's a big commitment.
It's a big commitment. Obviously, I saw a lot of what went on through 2-1.
So there you are. You're at home. You're finishing school. What age did you leave school?
I left school at 16.
So you leave school at 16. Few qualifications?
I had 2 O-levels, 5 GCSEs.
Wow.
CSEs as they were called.
So what happened then? You're out of school, big bunch of qualifications.
After school, I was on the dole for probably about 2 or 3 weeks. And then
what year are we talking, Nobby?
This was 1976.
Right.
Yeah. I was walking through a road in Portsmouth called Marmion Road, and there was a bloke that was offloading stuff out of a van. And I'm just sort of doing nothing. And I saw this bloke's name was Kevin, which I found out later. And I said to him, "Do you need a hand?" Yeah. So I helped him offload this stuff into the shop. Now, what I didn't know, this was a company called Henry Fisher's. And what they used to do was supply all the tools and everything to the dockyard in Portsmouth.
Okay.
And Mr. Fisher came along. Of course, I'm helping Kev shift all this stuff. And he looked at me and said, "Sir, what are you doing here?" I said, "I'm just giving him an hand." And after we sort of shifted all this racking and everything through to the shop, they moved out of what was the old Oxo factory near Fratton Park.
Yeah.
And Mr. Fisher said to me, "What are you doing now?" I said, "Well, I've just left school. I'm looking for a job." Yeah. How would you like a job?
So you got all these O-levels and you're just like unloading kit?
Mr. Fisher was brilliant. He sent me away to Highbury Technical College, and I learned all about to be a technical storeman.
So how long did you do that for?
I did that for a year, but what I did do, I mentioned to Mr. Fisher, I'd intended to join the army anyway. It was all in my blood, because I'd been an army cadet for 5 years.
Yeah. With the Royal Hampshires?
With the Royal Hampshires.
Infantry?
Yeah.
So you weren't tempted to go in the infantry then?
No. Well, saying that, the story, this is what my dad will tell you. When I signed on the army, down at the career centre in Portsmouth, I went off, signed on, came home, and my dad said to me, "When you off to Arborfield then, son?" And I looked at him and I said, why would I be going to Arborfield?
Oh, you knew what it was?
I knew, and he went, "What have you done?"
Yeah.
And I thought he'd be dead proud of me. I went, "Signed on for the Powers, Dad."
Oh, had you?
Clip round the ear.
Is that what you'd done?
Yeah.
He
dragged me off back down to the careers office, and he knew the recruitment sergeant down there.
Yeah.
And he said to him, "Get this man a trade. He can worry about jumping airplanes later on."
Brilliant. So that was it.
That's what I ended up doing.
What year did you actually go
I actually went to Arborfield in 1977. I signed on, joined up went to Arborfield. Initially, you went to Sutton Coldfield to the selection centre for 3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
I then went into Arborfield, did my basic training. And at the end of my basic training, I had to wait for my electrician's course to start.
I was going to say, because when you're going through, I don't know, right? So when you're going through, I mean, now they're phase 1 and phase 2, but then your depot, you're just going through soldier training.
Yeah, that's right.
How long was that? 6 weeks?
That was 8 weeks.
8 weeks basic, so no pass-out parade at the end.
Yeah, there was a pass-out parade at the end.
And then you go off and do...
And then I went off to Borden, which is our training school.
Yeah, I know Borden.
To learn to be a vehicle electrician. So basically, I was going to be fixing anything from a motorcycle through to, in them days,
any vehicle electrics.
Yeah. So,
well, what we're going to do now, right? What we're going to do now, because we're just getting into Nobby's start of his career, and I don't want to steal a hold of this interview, because the reason is, guys, we want to try and promote Nobby's channel. Nobby does a lot of videos, and but he just needs a bit of a boost. So I want to do a flavour on my channel. So please, I've got a lot of subscribers out there. Please do Nobby the courtesy of flicking over to his channel, Nobby 3542, and have a look at Nobby's videos. Watch the rest of this video over there, and please, 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 it costs nothing to subscribe, and you'll be really helping Nobby out. And I think after you listen to the rest of this video on Nobby's channel, you'll understand why I think my mate Nobby needs a boost. So, Nobby, cheerio.
Yep, and let's tab.
Let's tab.